Hello, everybody. It is Brian Clark, broker associate at Century 21 Alton Clark, your neighborhood Spring Oaks realtor, coming back at you with July's market report. Now, I got some really great information to share with you all, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content that I'm providing you. By all means, if you ever have any questions or concerns, reach out. I did get a few people reach out and just kind of wonder, like, who are you? Because they're getting these emails from me. So I'm going to give you a little quick background. My name is Brian Clark. I'm the guy here on the left. My brother and I own the Century 21 Alton Clark here in Altamont Springs. We also have a location over by the Villages, and we have a New Smyrna branch as well. So just to kind of give you an idea of who we are and what we do, this kind of gives you a little background. I'm a top listing agent in the company and in Central Florida. As you can see, I got rewards here, rewards last year, 2019, for being a platinum award agent. And the picture down below is just some of our agents from some of the different locations that were receiving rewards. So we have a pretty large company, and we have a lot of successful agents, and we've been doing this for a little while now. Our family background is investments in flipping properties and things of that nature, which we do as well. So for any of you who know anyone who's looking for a property to sell or wants to get out of it, and get quick cash, maybe it's run down or something like that, we do that as well. But the main reason why I'm reaching out to give you guys some education is to help my neighbors make great decisions when it comes to selling their home. And the number one reason why I do what I do is because of my family here. You guys can see this picture of my cute little daughter, Amara, my lovely wife, Megan, one of my cats, Momo, she's going a little crazy there, and my dog, Lilu. And I also have another cat, Luna, that I got to include in that picture, so maybe next month you'll see a new little collage there. But that just kind of shows you, I've been in Central Florida since 1984, 85. Well, went to Lake Brantley High School, went to Teague Middle, went to Forest City Elementary, same with my older brother. So we know the area well. We've been around here a long time. And, so the information that I share is not just my own personal opinion. We have over 150 agents plus within our companies, and there's a lot of transactions that go on. So when I'm sharing information with you, it's based on a lot of that intel, a lot of the numbers, a lot of watching the market. That is what we specialize in. We specialize in marketing as well, and I like to provide that information to some of my neighbors. Because unless you are in this business and you're in it and you sell a lot of homes, it is hard to kind of have a pulse on what's happening in the market. I always have people asking me questions about it and what's going on. So let's take a look. So far in 2020, we've had 30 sales go on in our neighborhood. Now, 2019, over the whole year, we had only 53. So we're on pace. This is counting up to 7 months. So we're over the halfway point. So we're still pretty on pace to last year. I think with the recent surge, we may have a chance to outpace that, which is counter intuitive to what a lot of people are being told. A lot of folks are saying, oh, the market's crashing, this and that. I got to tell you, folks, I go by the numbers, and the numbers are saying it is not crashing. I study a lot of the chief economists that are real estate vested. That's their main purpose, is to research home sales and values. And they are shocked by how the real estate market is going currently. It is still staying very strong, and you'll see kind of the numbers speak for themselves. So overall sales in July, we're up 250%. What does that mean? Well, last year we only sold 2 homes in July. This year, 5 homes sold. So it went up quite a bit. It was more than double what we produced last year. So there was a delay. The summer sort of rush of home sales was delayed due to COVID. So there was an impact. A lot of that came, February, March, April. But after that, it just kind of sped right up and started to spin, and people started selling homes really quickly and taking advantage of that, which is really great, because I know some of you were looking to sell and you were kind of scared or concerned about, could you get the value for your house. Another positive note is that our average sales price in the neighborhood has gone up 6%. Now typically that's 3%. Annually is what happens. Now this number will go up and down, but I think we're going to end out the year at a 6% increase. So for those of you who were looking to see if it's going to be continuing going up, it still is as of right now. So that's a good note to key in on. So let's take a look. So the average sales price You can see in 2018 we were at 261. We had a nice little jump in 2019 to 266. But look at 2020 so far. And this is the thing I've been telling all my neighbors. Pay attention to this. If you had ever thought about selling and you wanted to hit it at the top, this is the top. Because look at the difference between 2020. Right now, the average sale price in our neighborhood is 281, and that's about to go up again because we've had some monumental high number sales, and it's been awesome. So keep that in mind. Average price per square foot, though, has still stayed pretty steady in 2020. 2018 it was down to average was 129, and then in 2019 140. 2020 we're pretty steady at the 149. Now here's something I like to touch base on. There are 3 different styles of homes in our neighborhood. There's the one-story sort of L-shaped homes that are they range anywhere from 1,600 to 1,900 and change square feet. Sometimes they'll go a little over 2,000 if you have that gable roof, but not many. And then we have the I call the 2-story shoebox, which is just a flat 2-story house. Usually it has a Roman pillars out front. And then you have the L-shaped side stacked shoebox, which is that one usually, those range in the 2,000 square foot plus ranges. The bigger houses tend to have a lower price per square foot, typically. Obviously, a lot goes into like condition and all that other stuff, but the ones that have the higher price per square foot in our neighborhood are the single stories because they hit the larger buyer market. Usually, they're in a price point that a lot of middle income America are looking for. So, when you're thinking of selling your home, the way you can calculate sort of what your home might be worth is you take your square footage and times it by the price per square foot. And that'll give you a guesstimate. Now, obviously, condition a home, whether or not you have a pool, upgrades, no upgrades, new roof, no new roof. Our homes are typically built in the 70s. If you've upgraded the electrical or not, a lot of that stuff goes into play here. And that's part of what, one of my free assessments. If you guys are ever curious as to what your home might be worth, I can definitely swing by and kind of give you an idea if you've been thinking, because honestly the auto generators are going to give you a base guesstimate and it's going to be off. Zestimate is never right. It has an 80% accuracy, so that means there's 20% plus or minus right or wrong, and you don't want to be on either side of that, especially since most homes sell 97% of their list price. And what I mean by that is there's only a 3% sort of plus or minus room to play with. And it could be devastating. You could sit on the market forever if you go too high and miss your mark there. Now here's something crazy. Average days on market in 2020 so far has gone down again. Last month we were at 24 days. This month we are at 20 days. I put out the newsletter last month telling everyone, man, it is fire out there. And some people put their homes up for sale and they did a really good job. They had it cleaned up nice. And they sold very quickly, which once again brought down the average time to 20 days. Listen, as a nation, you'll see here in a graphic here in a second, the average time on market is 54 days. So we're like less than half of what the rest of the U.S. is experiencing because we're a very highly sought after neighborhood, which is very nice. And that's a 41% drop from 2019 because 2019, it was 34 days on market. So take that into consideration. This still hasn't changed. Failed to sell in 2019. There was 8 homes that failed to sell. There's quite a few that will continue to do so, because the big issue is a lot of folks. You see these short time on market. You see all this stuff selling quickly, and then you start going for gusto and putting up homes that are you price yourself out of the market in a sense, because there's a lot of factors that go into figuring out how your home is valued. And I see it time and time again. People, put a number to their home, and I'm like, no way. Just to give you an idea, I have a single story 4.2 with 1,863 square feet. Okay, I have a brand new roof that was put on less than 6 months ago. I have updated my electrical and wiring. My AC unit's a 2011, so it's not brand new. My entire inside of my home was totally renovated in 2015 when I moved in here. So about $30,000 worth of renovations and what have you. I did a refinance because I owned my property outright before. I was looking to, go get a rental property, and I refinanced for $172,000. They had to come out and do an appraisal. Now they came, and I have a pool as well. It's not caged; it's open air, like a lot of us in here. But they gave me a value of $309,000, which, whoa, I mean, that's fantastic. But I've seen folks that don't have near the same upgrades, or sometimes don't even have a pool, try to get a price per square foot way higher. So if you do the math, that's a $165 square foot, based on the appraisal that I got in, what was it? It was like January. Okay, so it wasn't long ago. I'm sorry, no. It was April. April is when I got that appraisal. So it was like 2 months ago. And there are folks in here that are listing their homes at $175, $179 a square foot. It's just not going to happen. And many of them didn't have pools and stuff like that. I can just tell you, I have seen the appraisals. I have seen a lot of stuff. I've had other agents that have bought and sold in here and know what properties have appraised for. You know, we could want $325,000 for our house all day long, but if the bank isn't going to agree with you, no one's going to be able to get a loan for it, and your home is just going to sit on the market. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if you do have some great upgrades and things like that, yes, you can get into the 160 and change square foot, but just know the average is 149. So if you have average decor, decent, you know, maybe your roof has some, you know, tenure under it, but it's not falling apart or anything. Your AC units, you know, it's older, but it's still running well. You can kind of get an idea of what you might be able to get. And then you can base plus or minus, if you have a pool, about $17,000. That's what they're valuing pools in our neighborhood around about. Obviously, some more, some less, but the average is around 17,500. Okay? Expired properties, a lot of them were sitting on the market for about 155 days. Some people just kind of took their homes down quickly. We had one that was 235 days. They were shooting for the stars. They had some great upgrades on the inside. They had no pool, but they were really shooting for a number that just was not going to happen. And I told my wife, I was like, man, that one's not going to sell. And I actually visited. I had a client of mine wanted to go look at it. And after we walked through, that was the first thing that popped in their head. They're like, yeah, you know, for the money they're asking, I don't think we want to deal with that. So, you know, pricing is really important, folks. You know, condition and marketing, everything like that is super important too, but pricing is probably number one. So be careful not to overprice. So average days on market, we already, oops, sorry, I'm going backwards. Whoops. So current listings, we have, this was the same as last month. We have 2 for sale and 5 pending. So the last month it was the same thing. So it usually takes 30 days to close. So we'll see, you know, 2 go under contract and 2 new ones pop up again. And so that's how it stacks up. But it takes about 30 days for closing to happen. So we have a little carryover from last month. But we got a record pending in here off of Elder. I think it's probably going to be the most expensive house sold in this neighborhood. We'll see if it appraises. One of my good friends was the inspector on the property. He says it's really nice. Upgrades were done real well. So they're at 415, which, my goodness, I never would have thought I'd see a number like that in our neighborhood. But we'll see how that pans out as if it closes at that number, because you don't know what it's going to close out at until it actually does. But yeah, so far 2 for sale, 5 pending, which is great. Let's take a look at the total statistics for. This is sort of for all of Central Florida in a sense. And I want you guys to pay attention to these numbers, because this should tell you that, you know, the hearsay is not all true. It's, you know, the numbers are telling us a different story. So active listings and everything like that, we're down 5% from last month because a lot of it's gone pending and not a lot of new stuff has gone up. We're down 32% from last year, so a pretty big decrease from last year. Obviously, COVID has a lot to do with that. Now, new listings, this is the number I want you to pay attention to, we're up 7% from the previous month. So that means there are people like starting to come out of the woodwork. They're like, okay, we'll do this. And we're actually up 2% from July of last year. So that means folks are starting, we're catching back up. We started off pretty behind because of COVID, but now things are starting to catch up. Pending sales are down 3% from last year, but they're up 14% from the previous year. I'm sorry, down 3% from last month, up 14% from last year the same time. So that shows you what direction we're going in. People are starting to kind of, you know, get back out there and hunt. There's way more buyers than we have sellers, so it's getting pretty nice. So we're up 15% for listings sold from last month to this month, and we're also up 9% from last year. So once again, does this look like a decreasing market? No, it's going in the other direction. There was just a delay because of this pandemic really rocked a lot of folks. Actual days on market, 57. So once again, you guys know, I told you our neighborhood was at 20. This is 57, so never mind. We're actually at a third of what the Central Florida market's at, which is fantastic for us because that means there's a lot of people that love this area, love this neighborhood. They love Westmont Park. They love the trail. Like, we got a really good thing going here, which is why I bought here. Total sales volume, we're up from last month 17% and up 23% from last year. I mean, think about that. We're going in the right direction, and it's going to level out, yes, but it's not going backwards like a lot of people are saying. They're saying it just because they're just parroting what someone else said without looking at the facts. The facts are saying a completely different story. Average sale price, look at this. In Central Florida, it's gone all the way up to $314. I mean, that's insane. So that's up 3% from last month. It's up 13% from last year. Guys and gals, that is astronomical. This is what I'm telling you. If you're trying to get the tip of the iceberg here, this is where it's at. The top of the mountain is here. After this, it's going to start leveling out and possibly going down in the next year and a half. So just keep an eyeball out. If you're interested in selling and you're at that mark, now's around the time. And months of inventory, only 2 months. This is crazy. The normal market is 6 to 9 months of inventory. That's a normal market. So we are definitely in a seller's market, and this is also why some people are being a little crazy. They know there's not a lot out there, so what they're doing is asking some crazy pricing. Listen, people will fight over your listing if you price it right. If you price yourself out of the market, they'll just say, nah, forget it, and they'll go to the next one. So just keep that in mind. What this does, though, is it eliminates nitpicky buyers that want like all these things fixed. They want all these seller concessions or pay some closing costs. So you can take advantage and get yourself a very good deal and situate yourself properly because there's the demand. But that doesn't mean people are going to pay obnoxiously overpriced numbers for homes because appraisers aren't going to appraise them anyway. So keep that in mind, okay? Now, just as an example, this is a home that's very similar to our neighborhood I did a couple days ago. It was the #1 listing in the area. This is what I try to kind of share with you. The main reason for me making this is to let you guys know what our neighborhood's doing, but I want to show you why I would like to take my talents and help some of my neighbors out. So this listing I put up, the clients didn't think it could sell for what we listed it at, $255. I told them we certainly could and probably more. I was very rare that I meet with people and they think their home's worth less than what I thought. But we did some staging. I had a construction guy come out and fix some things for them. Got some prep work done ahead of time to make the pictures look real nice. Here's the thing. We were the #1 listing in the area and received multiple offers in less than 3 days. We are currently under contract over asking because there was a battle, and we are closing in a couple days. And this is the Zillow screenshot, all right? Because I don't want to just talk about it. I want to show you. Do you think you're going to get more? The green bar is my listing. The blue bar is everyone else. So when I use some of the tactics, because I'm a certified luxury home marketing specialist as well, but I also do a lot of regular, priced everyday Joe homes because those are great, and I love helping folks out. But when I take the skills that I've acquired over all these years and my knowledge of the area, and I put it together in a package, this is what happens. 1,026 views. The next closest person had 1/10 of the views I had. So when you're wanting to get top dollar for your house, you need eyeballs, right? The more eyes you have on your house, the more possibilities of people would be interested in purchasing it. So this is this is proof in the pudding, folks. 52 saves, 52 people were watching. We had, 35 showings plus in a weekend. It was insane. They actually ended up just leaving and going and staying at their parents' place down south because that's where they're moving, just because it was just so much. But they were super happy. So we got multiple thousand. We got a couple $1,000s over ask. No one said nothing about the inspection. I told them, hey, look, I have 10 other offers. I better, it's as is. You guys better like it. And they did. And so it was a great negotiating tactic. So they're getting it clean. No contribution to closing costs, nothing, in 3 days on the market. So this is just a sample. I have multiple listings that I've done this for. And when clients and I sit down and we form a game plan together, this is what can happen, which is super exciting. They are so happy because, it just, no one in their neighborhood got results like that. So they were concerned because they had some house issues, but we fixed them all up for pretty cheap using some of my vendors. So I wanted to share that with you. So, in summary, the market is still good. And what you see on the screen is just a few homes that I've sold in under a week for top dollar. I think this one up here I did 2 years ago in our neighborhood. I sold that in 2 days. I sold that for $10,000 over the appraised value. Just, it was because I had that many offers on it. We could negotiate. Nowadays, people aren't really coughing up extra cash like that, but they were then. But I just want to share, take real consideration when you're doing some valuation with your home and home preparation. There are certain things that many times I meet with folks, they have an idea of what they need to fix in their head, and it isn't always accurate. Some of the things that I tell them to fix, they're very shocked by, because what I tell them to fix is what will hold up a mortgage, what will hold up a loan from happening, what will, cause people to walk away, because I'm also out there representing buyers. Because this ABR designation here is an accredited buyer's rep. I know what buyers are looking for and what they want and what they don't like. So when I'm going through and I'm assessing your home for, preparation for listings, I'm thinking I have buyers' voices in my head, telling me what they're going to have problems with. So I hope that helps. And I hope you guys aren't getting drowned out too much by this rain. And thanks so much again for, checking out all my stuff. And if you ever want any more information, feel free to check out my website, www.brianclarksellshomes.com. It's really great. You can go in there and you can search at homes. It's directly connected to the MLS. The cool thing is about it is that, yes, it will ask you for your name and email, but the only person who's getting that is me. When you go on Zillow and you do it, they sell your information to other agents. I know that because I am an agent and they're constantly trying to sell me people's information. I'm not going to hound you all. If you don't want to be part of the newsletter, if you don't want to see any of this information, that is perfectly okay. You can unsubscribe. You can say no. I'm just doing this because I think some of y'all enjoy the information and would like to know, what's going on in our neighborhood, and is it good? Is it bad? Should I sell now? What can we do? And that's what I'm here to help. So thanks again for tuning in as always, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.